Well, hello and welcome, everybody. So thank you so much for watching the program, The 7 Things All Energetically Aware People Need to Know Master Course. Now, if you missed any of those videos, please go back and watch them. Or if you missed parts of them, because I know that some people got interrupted during that, go back and check because there's some pretty good information, and I want to make sure you have all that information. Now, we covered a lot in this master course, and the reason I put this together was because I really wanted energetically aware people to have all the basic tools they need and to start looking at the world from a different viewpoint, a different way of looking at things, so that you could see that there's nothing wrong with you, and how a lot of the things that you might think are limitations in you are actually how society has been designed, how this reality has been designed to keep kind and caring people down, keep us suppressed. Whoa, wow. So everything that brought up, do you choose to release and let all that go? Ooh, yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Whoa. Yeah, and I received a lot of really great comments, both on the videos and then personal messages, and I think I answered all of those. But if you didn't get your questions answered, please send me a message. And if you're seeing this video a little bit later, still enter your questions and comments under the videos, because I am reading all of them, and I'm going to do my very best to answer them, because I want you to have all the tools that you need as a kind, caring, and energetically aware person. Yeah, cool. And we'll be getting to some questions and answers a little bit later in this live video. But what I wanted to do is tell you a little bit more about the program that I'm offering. I mentioned that just in the last 5 minutes of the course. And the reason I just did that little bit is because I didn't want it to be a sales video, because I'm not a salesperson. And actually, it's pretty hard for me to actually even ask you guys to invest in this program. And why is that? Well, because I've been exposed to so many programs where people promise a bunch of stuff and they deliver very little. And so I wanted to make sure that you guys knew all this information even before I invited you to the course. Now, in the course, we're going to be going a lot deeper into the information I brought up. But once again, I wanted you to have all the basic tools. So whether you join me in this program or not, you're going to have what you need to move forward. And so if you use the 7 things that I mentioned in the course, you have all the tools you need to move and be successful as an energetically aware person. Now, in the program, we're going to actually be moving pretty fast. So we're able to really greatly speed your empowerment journey and so you can really start creating the things in your life that you would really like. Because as I mentioned in the 7 Things Master Course, there were a lot of things that I wanted to create in my life, but I just really wasn't able to. And whoa, so all the things that you've been trying to create in your life, wow, and you haven't been able to, do you choose to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wow. Yeah, and what I originally thought was there were some limitations in me that were preventing that. And what I think you saw from the 7 Things Master Course is that many of the things that we thought were limitations in us actually have external components. So it's almost like no matter what we did, we weren't able to completely change and clear that to create the lives we would like, because they had those external components. And that's one of the things I really want you to get from the 7 Things Master Course, was that when there's something not working in your life, not working for you, look at not the first thing is something wrong in you that you need to change, but are there external things that could be influencing it, making it harder for you to change and create that? Yeah, I got that. Woo! Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wowza. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and so in the program is called the Core. So basically what I wanted to do is put together the basic package. And the thing is I call it the basic or the foundation. But even if you've been on this journey a long time, it has this different way of looking at the world that's going to supplement what you've already learned. And it might even replace some of it that doesn't have as much empowerment as you would have liked it to. Woo! Yeah, so everything that brought up, do you choose to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Whoa. Yeah. And so probably it's the best for me just to jump right in. So let me share my screen. All right. So here is the sales page for the Core Energetic Awareness and Skills Program. And this is a 6-part module, or so it's going to be taught over 6 weeks. You'll be receiving a new module every week for 6 weeks. And then every 2 weeks, there's going to be a live Q&A call. And this is where you're going to be able to ask any of your questions live. You can message me them, and or I'm going to be sharing updated information because I'm always learning and exploring this world and this reality. And I find new tools, not daily, but like every week or so. And so I want you to have the absolute latest information. We're going to be doing that. And just a couple things that we're going to be showing you and you're going to be learning is really how to start using more of your energetic awareness for you rather than against you. And I mentioned some of the things in the course about how many of our energetic skills and capacities are set on high, or they're set on, whoa, yeah. They're set too high or they're set too low. And one of the things that's actually really interesting about that is when we often have these really strong awarenesses or these really strong discomforts when we learn stuff, we say something like, oh, I don't want to know this. I wish I never was exposed to this. And the problem about that is it's one of your core capacities. It's like saying, like, you don't want to breathe. And whoa, okay, so everything that brought up, do you choose to release and let all that go? Wowza, yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wow. Yeah. And so the part around all of that is when we try to turn something off that's one of your capacities, you can't do it. And so the fault about when you try to turn something off, you can't, is that the volume doesn't change. It stays at that same level. But I'm going to show you a different way to ask for those skills and capacities to adjust to what's required, or what's the appropriate amount, or what's the amount that you would like to receive at this moment. Yeah. And so the thing that I really liked about the course you guys just took is it gives you the quick overview and it starts giving you the information that you need. And this program, the paid program, goes in a lot deeper. And so what are some of the things we're going to cover? Well, one of the ones is to start to really see your strengths, because it's one of those things is a lot of the things that we think are, well, like I talked about in the course, that any superpower that's stuck on full no longer is a superpower. And we often can start thinking that those superpowers are limitations. But when we start looking at it, changing the volume knob, changing those other things, you're going to be able to start to see more of your strengths and then just know that innate power that you have. Another part we just touched on is accessing your magic. Now, each of us have a unique way of looking at the world, and we have unique, I'm going to call them magic, but they're actually energetic capacities. And one of the things that's been really hard is when we've taken previous classes, the instructors have told us how we're supposed to use our magic, or they're supposed to say, like, they tell us things like, oh, you see things this way, or this is what you do. And the thing is your magic is unique to you. And one of the parts that I really want you all to get is that because your magic is unique, there are ways that we can, as a facilitator, can help you access that, but I can't tell you what your magic is. Whoa. So everywhere you've listened to other people that told you what your magic was, or told you this is what magic is, wowza. Do you choose to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wow. Yeah. And then another part is accessing a group of other people that are like you. I'm saying they're just like you. Well, they have similar capacities. The thing is, once again, we're all these unique people, but because we're so unique, we feel like we're separate and isolated from the world. Wow. Yeah. And everything that brought up, GG's to release and let all that go. Woo! Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wowza. Yeah, and I feel that, and I know so many of you do too, is because we have these energetic capacities, we feel like we're all alone in the world. And there's so many people, when I first have a session with them and start explaining some of these things, like, oh, that's normal. I've had people cry because they've said, I thought I was the only one. Wowza. And the thing is this world, this reality is kind of designed to make you think that you're alone and isolated. Because when you're like that, it feels like you have to do everything on your own. Wow. Okay. Everything that brought up, G choose to release and let all that go. Woo. Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. And when we tap in together, when we join together as a community in this group, that gives us more support. And just knowing that you're not alone in this world, even that sometimes is enough to give you that extra strength to move forward. And then it's also a place that you can ask your questions. So each of the modules has a place underneath that you can ask your questions, and I check those frequently. And that's where like it's also really cool is like, oh, you have a question right there, pause the video, write your question down, and I can answer that later. And then the other part is that in our live Q&A calls, you can ask your questions directly. So you're getting a little bit of personal attention, even though this is a group course. And all this is going around to be able to see the world in a new way, in a way that's empowering. It's a way of looking at things that show us that it's not us that's having the issue trying to move through it. Or maybe, well, I guess we are having those challenges moving through it, but there's nothing wrong with us for having those. And then how we can look at that so we can start taking the steps to actually change that. And that comes right into the next part is how to untangle any limiting belief. And like I mentioned in the calls, that we often take multiple beliefs and put those together into one huge thing that needs to be changed all at once. Wowza. Yeah. So everywhere you've grouped lots of small challenges into one big challenge. Woo. G choose to release and let all that go. Wowza. Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wow. And so it's a way of looking at things so that for anything that's not changing, we break it into multiple pieces, and each of those pieces can then be changed, which then starts changing the whole big thing. Awesome. Okay, so we have 6 powerful modules plus the 3 live calls. And this is the part where, like I talk about looking at the world from a different way. It's not like we have to look at the world as being just positive. And that's one of the things that's really tough, because I think so many people in the self-improvement and the New Age spiritual work, they try to have you change everything into positive. It's like, oh, what's the positive of this? What's the happy part of this? And I'm sorry, some things in life really just suck. Woo! Yeah, so everywhere that's been your experience, you choose to release, let all that go. Wow, yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Whoa. Yeah, and the thing is I started to talk about that in how you can use even a disempowering challenge to empower you. And that part is, you take the challenge and then you just ask that question, how can you use this challenge to become more of who you came here to be? And we're going to go more deeper into that, but it's looking at the world from that perspective. Because one of the things that's really hard is when something really sucks in your life, trying to change it to make it positive, that's really hard, and sometimes it's impossible. Woo, yeah. So everywhere you tried to turn something that was really, I'm going to say negative, but it really was not positive, and tried to turn it into a positive, and it didn't work. Woo, do you choose this to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wow. And then like in the final class in the master course, I talked about the hidden energetic forces that basically slow our progress. And we're going to do a lot around that, because that's one of the, like I said, the missing piece that when I tried to do everything that, all my teachers and gurus said, there was a part that I just wasn't able to move through. And what that was is identifying and then removing the hidden energetic forces that slow our progress. And like I said in the course, these forces can't stop our progress. They can't stop you, but they do make it harder. And once the things about, like for me, when I started recognizing that, it was like made a lot more sense why certain things were so much harder for me to do than it seemed like they were for everybody else. Yeah. Woo. Okay. Yeah. And then I just wanted to say that, so this program is only $347 for the 6 modules and 3 Q&A calls. And when I mentioned this price to my business coach, she actually got a little bit upset with me. She was saying the people that are on your calls, they're not going to understand how powerful this course is and the value that you're really giving them. And the part that I really wanted to put this out at this really reasonable price was because I've been in places where it's been really hard for me to have the money to do things. And so I really wanted to make this price as affordable as I could so that so many more people could get this, because this information is so important and so helpful to all of us, and it's helpful to the world. Oh, and the one part that I didn't mention yet is one of the parts that I have this ability to do is to create this energetic change field. Woo. Yeah. And the more time you spend in this energetic change field, and we're going to talk more about how like you can also create that more for yourself, just being in that field starts allowing you to have a lot more choice and a lot more freedom in your world and in your life. Woo. Yeah. Because one of the things I've really noticed is that we as humans have this natural capacity that we want to mimic the people that we're around. Whoa, so everything that brought up, do you choose to release and let all that go? Wowza. Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Now, this is a great capacity because you don't want to move and go into a situation when you're around a bunch of other people and then all of a sudden be doing things that are not appropriate or are not socially appropriate in the group. But the problem is because so many people around us are very limited. We tend to take on those limitations, or we tend to suppress our energetic capacities because of that. It's just something we naturally do because we want to be like everybody else that we're around. And now, whether you resist that or agree with that, it's one of those things that kind of just naturally happens. But the more we spend time around people who are energetic, or especially in a course like this, a class like this, where we're all creating this amazing energetic change field, we can start to stay in that field longer, even when we're around people that have very limiting beliefs. Whoa. So everywhere you're already exposed to all these people that you're around that have all these limiting beliefs. Well, so, whoa. Do you choose to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Wow. Okay. All right. Oh, and then here we go for some pretty good bonuses. Like I mentioned on this is I have my 2 most powerful energetic clearing audios that are going to be included in this program. And not only are these my most powerful energetic clearing audios, these are the most powerful energetic clearing audios I've ever found. Now, I'm not just saying that just to be dramatic or to toot my own horn. So if you guys find anything that's more powerful than this, please let me know because I want to know. And the reason I actually designed these was because I saw that I wasn't able to always be around and do personal sessions for people when they were having challenges. And that's what the crisis clearing is all about. And once again, it's like the crisis clearing, I'm going to need to change the name because I was just chatting with another client and she said that she kind of resists playing the crisis clearing because it would mean that she was in a crisis. Whoa, wow. So everything that brought up for you, do you choose to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. And I think the reason I still call it crisis clearing is because that's what I designed it for. I designed it for when clients were having complete challenging days and would really need my personal one-on-one coaching to be able to move through that. And that's why I designed it. So I put in all my most powerful clearings on that. And then what I found, like basically just 2 years ago, was that it worked for so much more. If I felt I was feeling a little bit funky, if I was having a tough day, but not like a crisis, I would put it on. And it's just amazing how it starts taking the edge off of anything that's up and then starting to get you back to you. And once again, it's just like for some of you who are uncomfortable in crowds, or you're going to be in a situation that is going to bring up energy. Like some people, it's really hard for them to be around their families. You can just play this softly in your purse or in your pocket. And it gives you that extra energetic support and emotional support to move through those situations. And it's something that I've done too. It's just like I went to a party over the weekend and it was a really fun party, but then all of a sudden the energy just started getting a little bit funky. And so I put it on my pocket And the party was still pretty rambunctious, but it just took that edge off, and I was able to enjoy it for another couple hours. And then the other thing is the power process. Now, this is how I start my day off. Because one thing I've found is that often we as energetically aware people, as we, when we go to sleep, when we drift into that unconscious state, one, we pick up energies of all the world around us. Whoa, okay. So everything that brought up, do you choose to release and let all that go? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. And it was one of those things, once again, that I thought it was just me. I thought I woke up like, why don't I feel like my most powerful when I wake up? Why does it sometimes take me, several hours to start getting back into my full power? And then after talking with quite a few energetically aware people, I noticed that we all had similar things. Now, some people might wake up in the morning fully refreshed and ready to go. And if you're like that, awesome. It doesn't mean that you didn't pick things up or that you're weak or whatever. But what it really means is that when we're in this sleeping state, there's a potential that we pick up some energies. And because we're also, not consciously aware of everything that's going on, we don't have all the tools to deal with that. And so what I do is every morning I do the power process, and it's how I start off my day in a powerful way. It removes the mind fog and energies that we pick up. And it's also really good to use like right before you need a little bit more of your power. If you have a meeting or a presentation. So it's kind of like I have these two main processes. The crisis clearing is more for when you're already feeling really challenged. And you just need to get up from that lower level. The power process is more when you're like, either you're feeling okay or you don't specifically know anything's going on and you want to step into more of your power. Cool. Yeah. And so those are the two bonuses that are included with that. And then the other part that I found is that sometimes it's really helpful to have one-on-one sessions with me. Like classes are great, and I really enjoy working with them. And sometimes classes can actually be more expansive than working with somebody one-on-one, because the questions that other people have or the challenges that they have that they're asking in the class, that can bring up and access things that you have that you didn't even know about. And so one of the things I just want to let you know is that in the core system, I'm going to be answering all your questions quickly, and you are going to be getting one-on-one support if you require it through the Q&A calls. Now, I'm not going to be able to fully, do a full session with people in the Q&A calls, but I certainly can answer any small questions that come up. And the thing is if you're able to do both the course and have some one-on-one time with me, that actually is kind of like the best of both worlds, because there's certain things that when we're working one-on-one, we can drill deep into that we just can't on a course. And so what I wanted to do is to give you some options to work with me one-on-one at a really reduced price. And so how that's working is you can add 2 30-minute full sessions with me for only $200 more. And that's less than half my normal price. And then the other thing is that some people have asked me is like, what's your top level program? What if I want to work with you weekly? What options do we have around that? And that steps into my VIP program. Now, this is only for a few select people. I only have room for 4 people in this complete program, and it is on a more expensive level. But the same time is at this level of support that you're getting, it's actually, compared to other programs out there, really reasonable. Now, what does this package include? Well, this includes weekly 60-minute sessions with me. And the one thing that's like really amazing is when we work together weekly, we're able to go deeper than we can on just single sessions set further apart. Because one of the things too is that when we're working together regularly, it clears anything that potentially can start coming back in. So it's kind of like mowing your yard more frequently. The weeds don't come up. You don't have problems. You don't have to get out the weed whacker. woo, and everything that brought up, do you choose to release and let all that go? Woo, yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. And in this program, so as part of your weekly sessions and monthly package is you get access to all my courses and all my energetic materials. So you receive access to the core program. And then I also have some pretty other amazing ones. I have a Moving Beyond Abuse and Trauma program, which was one of my most powerful programs I just did in the fall. And then I also have one, it's Speeding Your Body's Healing. And that has some really good stuff that if you get sick a lot or you're trying to recover from long-term illnesses, this is something that I use. And that one also has like this pretty amazing energetic clearing audio that helps us move beyond any time that we're sick or actually start to feel sick. So that particular energetic clearing audio is anytime I'm around somebody that is ill or I'm traveling on a plane, I put that on to give my immune system and my body some extra support. Okay, and so here we go as we have the 3 different levels that you can choose from. We have the core plus the bonuses. That's $347. That's a one-time payment. Gives you lifetime access to the program. If you want to add the 2 sessions with me, and those 2 sessions with me can be used at any time. You can use those before the start of the program, during, or after, and that's $547, one-time payment. And then the core VIP program, that is a monthly recurring program, but that gives you access to the full core program, weekly 60-minute sessions, help calls. That's one of the things where if you we've all had this, like you're going along the day and then all of a sudden you're having a tough time. Where if you could just chat with somebody for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, it could completely change things. So you get help calls along with that. Full access to my library and all previous and current courses. And that's at the little higher price point of $9.97 a month. And yeah, and then I have some pretty good testimonials for what my previous participants in the previous classes shared about their experience. And you can read all those later. Okay, cool. So that's the introduction to the core program. And if any of you have questions or comments, I said that we would have time for that now. So let me just stop this share. Okay, and let's see what other kind of let's see. We have a couple. I have a couple questions regarding payment. Are there any additional other payment options? So on my website, it's set up for credit card payment. But we do have some people I know need to use PayPal, and I don't have a direct way to do that from the website. But just message me, and I can get you a special PayPal link. Someone also said, is there a payment option? Once again, that's not right now available on the website, but message me for a 3 payment, $125 for the $347 core class. And modules are released once a week because it's a 6 module program. They'll be released on Fridays, so you have a chance to watch them Friday or over the weekend. Okay, let's see, and I'll put the link in the chat so people can take a look at that if they want. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining the 7 things that all energetically aware people need to know master course. And I really would like to invite you to the 6-week program that's just coming up, which is the core energetic awareness and skills program, where we're going to go much deeper into what I discussed in the 7 Things Master Course. And in that place, you're going to start to access more of your natural strength, your natural power and potency. And how I look at things is that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. There's just things that we've been exposed to over the course of our lives, and especially being energetically aware people, that make it a lot harder for us to fully step up and to fully step into the natural power we already have. So I've been so glad to join with you on this journey. And once again, like, I really would like you to join the program. But if you don't, you have the 7 things that really, if you study those and practice those, you have all the tools you need to create the life you desire. So I'm Max Riggs. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now. Hi, so this is really quick. I wanted to add 2 new bonuses, and these bonuses are so new that they might not yet be on the website. But don't worry, if you've already purchased the program, you're going to receive these bonuses. And if you don't see them on the website yet, don't worry, you're going to get these. And so there's 2 things that I'm going to be adding. So the first one is a 15-minute one-on-one conversation with me. And this is where I'll be able to get to know you a little bit better, what some of your challenges are, and what you're looking to really change from this program. And that way I can make sure that all those things are covered in the program, or if they're not, I can add them to the question and answers and the bonus materials that I'll be providing you. And then the next thing is I found that many energetically aware people, well, we have our finances kind of been messed with. You know, either we don't have the money flows coming in that we would like, or when we have those money flows coming in, there tend to be extra expenses that kind of just use up those. Whoa, yeah, so everywhere that's been your experience, you choose to release and let all that go. Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Yeah, so I have this program. Let me just pull that up for you right here. And that's removing the blocks that keep you from your abundant money flows. So this is a course I did a little while ago, and I go through oaths and vows that we have that prevent us from having money, the places that we get tied into the gifting community for helping people either energetically, and that how can really mess with our finances. And that's a $125 value that I'm just going to be including in with this program. And if you just jumped in to the end of this because you saw, hey, extra bonus materials, what I wanted to let you know is that there's three ways that you can join this program. So the first one is $347. That's a one-time payment that gives you lifetime access to Core, plus the energetic change audios, the 15-minute one-on-one session with me, as well as the bonus, removing the blocks that keep you from abundant money flows. And then if you wanted a little bit more one-on-one support during the program or afterwards, for just adding $200 to that, you can have the Core plus 2 dynamic sessions for only $547. And then for a few of you that want my full VIP package, which is weekly 60-minute one-on-one sessions, access to my entire library, including Core and all my other programs and all other energetic change audios, that's a little bit more expensive, but it's still a really good deal at $997 a month. Okay, so thank you so much for participating in this program and this master course, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.